What's up, everybody? It's Flat Bill.
Gadget here.
On our next adventure, headed up to actually do some of the Appalachian Trail. Gonna park up at Neels Gap. Actually, we're gonna park at the Byron Reese Trailhead, which is about 0.3 miles north of Neels Gap. Gonna get a shuttle and be shuttled back down to Springer. About a mile past Springer, we'll get dropped off on the road crossing right there. Actually hike backwards up to the southern terminus, see the southern terminus and the hiker box, and then we'll start our hike. Gadget over here's got the map. He's going to kind of tell you a little bit of what our plan is for the trip.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna put it in at Big Stamp Gap, which is actually a mile north of Springer, and hike back up to Springer, and then actually come back. Day one, we're looking about 8.4. We're gonna stay at Hawk Mountain campsite. Day two, gonna get to about 16 miles, so about 8 miles that day, and Gooch Mountain Shelter. And then the next day, looks like Lance Creek is our destination that night. And then we're gonna finish out the last day at Neels Gap.
Yeah, that Lance Creek, that's the last place you can actually camp on the AT here without having to have a required bear canister. So yeah, we're going to have to camp there because we weren't going to buy a bear canister just for a one trip.
Yeah, March 1st to June 1st, you have to have a bear canister between, let's see, Slaughter Creek Trail, well, Jared Gap and Neels Gap.
Yeah. So anyway, we're about 2 hours away from the trailhead, and then we're going to meet our shuttle driver. Is going to be Wes. We'll show you him, and then we'll see you down the road on the trail. We just got picked up by Wes. I actually found Wes's number in the AT guidebook. It's produced by AWOL. Dave McCauley was nice enough to be able to give us a ride. Parked up at the Byron Reese Trailhead and headed down to Springer. Wes is telling us it's about an hour drive, so got a little ways to go, and then we'll start hitting the trail. But just wanted to give you a little update, and we'll check back in later. Made it up to the top of the southern terminus. It's about, let's see, about 2:15. We actually got dropped off about 2 hours ago, and realized, so here's the actual start and the first blaze there, but got dropped off, and when we got ready to get out of the shuttle driver Wes's car, we realized that I'd forgotten my quilts for my hammock. We tried to decide what we wanted to do, if we could ride back down or not. Wes's shuttle was, unfortunately, he wasn't available the rest of the day. We called a couple of other people. They wouldn't have been up here till about 4:30. It's about an hour and a half drive on that gravel road back down to where we parked. So we tried to make a decision. Luckily, we found a guy that gave us a hoodie, and then another guy we found, he had an emergency blanket. So hopefully we're going to try the next 3 nights, maybe using Gadget's top quilt. We're going to put it underneath my hammock, try to string it up and use it as a bottom quilt, and sleep in our rain gear, and I'll use the emergency blanket, and hopefully we'll stay warm. But anyway, we're going to get to hiking back down. We think we're going to make it to about Hawk Mountain campsite tonight, so we'll see you down the trail. Just a little ways down the trail, roughly about 1.5 miles into the trail. We just came down off Springer, crossed over Big Stamp Gap, went through the Springer parking lot, and now we're making our way down. Looks like we're going to run into the Benton McKay Trail down here a little ways, and we'll continue on. Just wanted to kind of show you what the trail looks like right now. A lot of vegetation out here, so it's really hard to see a lot of areas compared to some of the fall hikes that we've done in the past. But anyway, Gadget's up there leading the way, and see you down the trail. And right down here, just a little footbridge getting over to a little stream. We've got about another mile or so of kind of flat, little downhill. Looks like it's kind of going uphill a little bit here, but then we start the big climb up Hawk Mountain. So far, been a nice walk, very relaxing with all the foliage. It's got a nice canopy overhead, so it's not too hot out here. Long Creek Falls. It's 5.2 miles down the trail. There's a little spur trail, juts off to the left if you're heading up from Springer. we decided we'd come over here and check it out. Pretty cool little area. We've come off trail a little bit. We've made it to the Hawk Mountain campsite, and then here's the privy. I don't really want to go too much in here. It looks like all they've done is just pretty much just put a toilet there. Looks like it's only one. I don't see another one. And well, they didn't even dig a hole. It's basically just dropping right down there on the ground. So, don't really care to get that on video. Anyway, we're gonna head down this way, try to find us a camp spot. Probably finally got to camp. We were at the Hawk Mountain campsite. Is it 8.4 miles in, Gadget?
Yeah, almost 9 the other day with some side trails.
Almost 9 with side trails. We got Gadget's new setup over here. You have to get him a new tarp. Why don't you tell us about it there, Gadget?
Got the hammock gear, standard Cuban fiber with doors tarp.
Yeah, how much weight did that save you?
Saved me probably almost a pound. Maybe not that much, but I think this whole setup's about 7-8 ounces.
Wow. Yep. So like I told you earlier, you know, of course my quilts got left at the truck. Got a guy that gave me a sweatshirt, but let me show you what we got in here. Also got a guy that gave me an emergency blanket. So I guess we'll try to use that emergency blanket as pretty much like a makeshift underquilt tonight. So we'll see how that works. Hopefully it doesn't get too cold. Anyway, we're just gonna sit around camp, cook some dinner a little bit. Right now it's about 6:45, so we'll cook some dinner and get to bed soon. Be back on the trail tomorrow, so see you down the trail. All right, morning guys. It's Saturday morning, May the 28th, about 6:30 in the morning. I got Gadget over there still packing up. I'm already ready to go. Last night was it was brutal for me. As you know, I didn't have any quilts. I had to sleep with that emergency blanket, and the emergency blanket just didn't cut it. I was cold most of the night. Only got down to about 61, but I was still pretty cold. So I'm gonna do everything I can today to try to get a ride into town, head up to Neels Gap, get my quilts, and then come on back out and meet Gadget back on the trail. I actually just got a phone call and talked to Wes, the guy that gave us a ride yesterday, and he said he was gonna be nice enough to pick up my quilts and meet me at Cooper Gap. It's going to be about noon. I think we got about 7 miles to get there. Hopefully we'll make it there on time, but just wanted to give you guys an update. Here's kind of what the trail's looking like right now coming into the Hawk Mountain shelter. You see Gadget up here. He is filtering some water. Kind of taking a rest. He was catching up on me while I had a chance to get some phone service, but looks like we got everything worked out and I'll be getting my quilts today. So this is Hightower Gap. We're going to be heading off this way, going up Sassafras. I think we got about a 750-foot climb going up here. We'll come down off Sassafras into Cooper Gap, and that's where we're going to meet Wes to pick up my pack. So right there is Horse Gap. Told you a little misinformation. We thought we were going up Sassafras a little while ago on the video, but we were wrong. We came into Horse Gap, which is right there, and now we're going to head this way. Right now we are at 2,680 feet, and we have to go to 3,350. 3,350 is what Gadget's telling me. So got about a 700-foot straight up climb. We got 1.5 miles till we get to Cooper Gap. Just coming off Sassafras Mountain, coming down into Cooper Gap, and lo and behold, trail magic! So our first sign of trail magic on the trail here. Looks like we got quite a bit in here. We got a beef stick right here. I got a bunch of stuff in here. I don't really know what's all in here. Got a couple of trail bars and some, looks like some trail mix. There's some rice in there. Maybe even some dehydrated meals. But anyways, pretty neat. Just found our first little sign of trail magic here. So we're going to stop and wait on Wes to bring us our package, and then we'll keep on going. So we'll see you down. It's 12:45. Wes ended up having a little something else to do and was a little later, so we ended up staying around camp to wait on him, but he just got here and brought me my quilts. Definitely going to be grateful for that tonight. Gadget's over there filtering up a little water, and we're about to hit the trail. Headed up into Gooch. Really pretty out here. Very peaceful. I think I've mentioned it before maybe, but even with it being a little warmer, because it's almost the 1st of June with the thick canopy over top, it's been really nice hiking. It's not hot. Well, let me back up. It's hot, but the shade and the breeze makes it feel really nice. Guys, just made it up here to Gooch Mountain Shelter. I'll go up there and show you the shelter in a minute, but you can see the shelter in the background, and then their campsites are all spread out through here. Got Gadget down here with the setup. He's in there reading like Mark Twain or something. Gooch Mountain Shelter. You can see this is pretty much what it looks like coming in. There's a picnic table and just some bar areas, places to hang your bags. Here's the bottom floor. Not much headroom with just a little ladder to go up to the top here to sleep. I think it says it holds about, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 people. But this is pretty much just the shelter here. Just got on trail, just left Gooch Mountain Shelter, the Gooch as it's known, and starting a little steady climb right out of the gate this morning. Gadget's leading the way. It's supposed to be a pretty steady climb the entire day, I think. Maybe just a little bit of a downhill, but not much. Most of it's going to be climbing, so feel good and refreshed. Good night's rest, and we'll see what the trail has to bring. So, a ways down the trail here, looks like we've come to our first overlook. I believe this is Ram Rock Mountain with the overlook here. Hopefully we'll get a view. Yeah, pretty good. One little tree in the way here, but other than that, this is our first real good view we've had on the trail so far. Into Woody Gap here. Kind of show you what Woody looks like. We stopped, had a snack, took our pack off, called, and got a shuttle set up for tomorrow to pick us up at Hogs Pen. So we're set off for Hogs Pen. But here's Woody Gap's, really packed, lots of people on bikes and everything. Cool little area. Got bathrooms, but it's not running water. And then the trail heads off this way. So I'm gonna keep on hiking. Lance Creek, probably stop, refuel for another little small snack, which is in about 4 miles. And then we'll start heading up Blood Mountain. Made it to the top of Big Cedar Mountain. Another good overlook for us here. Looks like Tropical Storm Bonnie's blowing in. We may have an hour before it starts blowing in and we get pretty wet. According to the radar, it's probably going to rain for a good, probably 3 hours. Wind's been blowing pretty hard lately. So it's going to get interesting on the rest of the hike. But we just fueled up on some tuna and some spam. We're about to hit the trail. Looks like we got about 8.5 more miles to go to Bull's Gap. Storm's blowing in. Not sure how much longer we're going to have in the sunlight, but we're ready for whatever the trail brings us. Woody Gap, where we just came from, and then Neels Gap's obviously 5 miles down this way. So we're about to start climbing. I think we're right at about 3,250 feet. Got to go up to 4,470, I think. So. Girl just almost stepped on a snake right here. It ran right through the... And she like freaked out. Pretty incredible view up here. All right, guys, starting to come down Blood Mountain here. I don't know if you can see that way. That's where the trail is. You see the blazes here on just the side of the rock face, and then we got Gadget trying to navigate his way down. It's pretty steep, and it's just right on the rocks here. Pretty cool little section of the trail, that's for sure. And you might not be able to make it out on the GoPro, but out there in the distance is nothing but rain. It's coming this way. Might break up, might hit us. Not really sure yet, but we're gonna start making our way down these rocks here. Good thing it's not raining right now, because these rocks would be pretty slippery if it was. Just awesome out here. Really cool part of the trail right through here. We have arrived. Neels Gap. 31.7 miles from Springer. We had a little bit of rain, not too bad, and we're just now making our way down into Neels. Hike's been great so far. We're still undecided if we're going to push on to Hog's Pen or not tomorrow. We're going to see if the store's open and then kind of make a decision. We're kind of tired. We might just get in the truck and head to Atlanta and grab a place to stay tonight and drive home early tomorrow. Not really sure yet, but we'll get back with you, and then I'll show you here when we get into Neels here, into the mountain crossing store. Still the trail for the AT. You walk right on this way, and as you see, there's a blaze there. It actually walks right on up through the store here. So. And you continue on this way. We made it back to Byron Reese Trailhead Parking. We talked about it and decided that since our original plan was to get to Neels Gap, and we made it to Neels Gap, we're just going to go ahead and call it a day and get in the truck and head on down to the Atlanta area and get a hotel and rest, get some pizza, and just kick it in the hotel and head on back tomorrow. But been a great trip. The hike was great. The hike was difficult today. We did about 17, 18 miles today. Definitely want to come back. Hopefully in the fall we can do Watauga Dam to Damascus. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, drop a like. Flat Bill out.